The Olympics in 2000 was a dream of mine. We went through the round games undefeated, come to the semi-final crossover and come up against Holland.
Since 1956, the bridesmaids on 3 occasions.
The scoreline at the end of regular time was 0-0, end of extra time was still 0-0, and it went to penalty strokes.
Their destiny very much in their own hands.
I was a penalty stroke taker back then, and I took a penalty stroke. My penalty stroke was saved by the goalkeeper. I felt like just diving into the deepest, darkest hole, and my teammates, they said to me then, it'll make you a better, stronger player for the future.
It's a penalty corner.
If there was ever a time for an Australian hockey hero to stand up, this is it. Livermore. Dwyer! It's in!
That is fantastic! Australia has won! They've got the gold medal! They've got the Mackie off the back, and they've left!
I didn't actually see it go in. As I'm trapping, I'm coming around and made the bunt and made the play, and I was still sitting down as these guys were...
You didn't have to, right?
Yeah, the guys were running off ecstatic.
Well, one of the most famous and long-lasting sporting hoodoos has finally been laid to rest.
I can't really remember from the 25 to the halfway. I was just running on adrenaline, and then I remember Bevan just grabbing me. And
when it went in, it was just one of the best feelings you could ever have, and then good times after.
When we first walked into the change room, the rowers had got down there. Some of the rowers had won a gold medal and that, and actually made a little guard of honour with hockey sticks that we had to walk through.
I train for those moments. I don't train to play in the 5th and 6th playoff. I train so that we're in that final.
You basically can't really breathe anymore. I'm just trying to suck in as much air as I can, and you just know because you're almost on that sort of not pass out stage, but you're ready to fall over.
Barry's set very hard goals for this testing, so we all, at the moment with our testing, have to get a PB. So he wants us to start at a PB and get higher.
Hard test, bloody hell. One, I hate looking forward to it. Every day I wake up the same morning every time and just go, oh God.
In a month I should be able to get 15-10, 15-11. Then after that, hopefully more again, 16. That's my goal by the Olympics.
I think Baz likes to see the mental state of guys. It's like everyone says, it's a great mental test for you, more so than anything. A lot of the time it's in your head how well you go.
It's 24 now who come to this program under immense pressure to make sure they're in the final 16. The competition for places will be as fierce as it's ever been.
I made the squad in 05, and it's been a real goal of mine to be in the Olympic squad and hopefully make the Olympic Games.
The ultimate is winning an Olympic gold medal in our sport. The Olympics have always been the pinnacle.
You know, we've only ever won one, and to get 2 in hopefully my career would be an amazing achievement.
60 to 70% of the group are from the Athens success. So individually they all have a great expectation, a greater expectation than what they had going to Athens.
We've got to really manage that desire to repeat success pretty much in the same way as we tried in Athens, and that's to keep the whole notion of outcome on the table but in the back of the minds.
You know you've got to keep the pedal down, otherwise the opposition will overtake you and the expectations won't be fulfilled, I suppose.
2, 1, go! Come on, all the way through. Keep going. During the test, it's full on because when they finish their sprint, they've actually got to jog 40 metres and then come back, sprint again. And we've done a lot of study to find out that kind of matches the most intense moments of a game.
I think the hard challenge for us is we're spread out over Australia and we're not continually training as professionals.
Now working in the one environment, training as a squad, being full-time athletes gives us a much greater opportunity to make a significant step.
We've got to look for ways to stay on top, so it's fantastic. That's what you really enjoy, and that's why we all do it as an elite athlete, I think.
The load that we're trying to get in this first 5-week blocks has been about flogging yourself as hard as you can, train under fatigue so your skills can perform when fatigued in matches. Every time we do a high intensity session, they put GPS trackers on your back to see exactly how heavy your workloads are.
So 142, that's actually really good. That's, I think Hamid Guesty beat that with 148. I mean, Eddie's a fit young guy and sets a standard on work rate.
These new guys come on, it is refreshing where they're at. It challenges us to make sure we keep striving to achieve.
It's just a step up in intensity, and you got to remember that you're training against some of the best players in the world. So
these new guys, they're putting a lot of pressure on to actually go to the Olympic Games.
I think the good thing about it is that they make you realise you're not as good as you think you are.
Yeah.
And it's just, which is nice in a way.
Working for about 12 minutes. The group certainly is a very talented group. The group has significant character and determination to do very well come Beijing.
often referred to as the king amongst the group. Jamie's just got amazing skills and really quick hands. His change of direction and speed, really, he's always catching defenders off guard and they're always going the wrong way and making them look stupid pretty much.
Alright, you got 3 goes, 1 out of 3.
They don't flinch, and that's probably the first attribute a keeper needs. He's got no fear of a ball getting belted at him at 160 mile an hour from 8 yards out.
Top 3 are standing right here, no quick about that. It's just we're not sure of the order just yet.
We smash the ball at them and we try and kill them every single training session.
Incredible pace the game's played at now. Don't think I would have survived in this era.
Contact with defenders. I think we tend to stand off them. I reckon we've got to get and start saying, here I am. If he pushes me and I want to go there, if I push him here, bang, thanks, Nolsey, trap, bang.
There is an Australian character about their sporting teams, and I think the physicality of the teams, I think about working hard for your teammates.
Best mates we ever have and ever will have would be within this team. And we've spent so much time together, and you get a lot tighter even in this centralised program.
Putting a lot of focus on looking at the ways the team interacts. We feel it's going to be very important to be very clear about all the patterns of interaction between players and coaches.
Some, not all, but some of our counter-attack opportunities.
We come over here and we train every day with each other. We know each other off the field as well, so you're great mates with everyone. And then that could be the 2 to 3% difference, which puts you first rather than second or third.
Well played, Nolsey.
You get to practice your skills in a tight situation against quality opposition, but in the back of your mind, you still want to win. Doesn't matter if it's an international match or just something of training. I've trained really hard this first block, and I'm actually in some reasonable touch. Bang, you get this little setback.
No, just hit me groin. I think I just tore my hip flexor. I've got my leg caught.
It's how you deal with that and how you use every chance you get for rehab to make sure you get back as quickly as possible.
We're sort of coming to the end of a 2-week intense training program, so I guess a few of the niggles are starting to build up.
Yeah, hello, Bernard.
Hey Baz, it's Eggy. It's good news. Gary says it's just a slight strain. It's improved overnight.
All right, thanks for the call. That's good news.
Barry does that extra work off the field, always looking for something different, always encouraging players to look at game plans, come up with game plans, and then Barry sharpens the pointy end and fine-tunes it. The way we work as a team, you know, as one big unit, it just works really good together.
Eggy, to be reviewed again by Pete Tuesday, Wednesday next week. In terms of the home series, there's a fair doubt about both legs, but we still can consider the Darwin leg, but the Darwin leg only.
But he's virtually out of the first leg.
Yeah.
One of the key things we're trying to instill in this group as well is you've got to keep the ball alive. No matter how far the ball's out in front of you, you've got to dive. You've got to be desperate. Because you grow up with it and you know where the ball is and you read the play pretty well, I think that's part of the fun, is the ball flying through the circle, is getting out of the way. Or
if you step in, in the line of a flick and wear one, it's going to do some damage. Yeah, it can be pretty scary in there, but good all the same.
I think there's always fire in the belly in our trainings, and that's what makes the Australian national team so good. There's guys that are really trying to push their claims to get ready for Darwin, so yeah, it'll be awesome.
The last 3 weeks have been very heavy and really just itching to change it from the training environment into competitions. So, hopefully I can put a good performances in Darwin, which will, put you on the good road to actually getting that final selection, which we're looking for and we're all looking for. So, yeah, it's going to be tough.
You're up in Darwin, you've got India, Korea and China. Where do they rate it as far as threats?
Obviously the Asians, the Koreans and the Chinese, very, very quick. And then you've got the skills of the Indians and they sort of never give in. So
we got better as the tournament went in Perth, and we're looking to get better again here in Darwin.
The most important thing for the players at the moment with these new tournaments, as the ball flies past my head, is it's all about selection at the moment. It's all about selection for Beijing.
Everyone does the numbers in their head where they're probably situated in the team. So when you go out to play, you're sort of playing against two teams. Like, your spot to get into the team and the team you're playing against. So
it's a difficult thing for them because they're committed to the team and all the team ethics, but individually they want to be picked to play every game here, and you're not a player if you don't want to play every game. They want to be picked to go to Champions Trophy, and they want to be picked for Beijing.
What would it mean to you to play for Australia in Beijing?
Well, I don't know, probably be the best thing ever.
And yeah, it's just around the corner, so I guess I'm looking forward to it.
It's not that busy talk.
I know. My dreams come true, I guess.
The team is trying to acclimatise to our weather.
Usually when we play a late game, we like to come together, have a bit of fun, have a bit of a loosen up. There's nothing better than just kicking the footy with each other and having a joke around. You got to put your hands up, don't catch it in your mouth.
We've taken a big jump to where we were probably 5 or 6 weeks ago back in Perth. We've done a lot of hard work, and now it's just about fine-tuning our performances and getting out there.
Just go out there with your teammates and to play for your country. It's the best thing I think you can do.
Go boys, basics, nice and sharp here. This is where we start.
Pulling on the green and gold to go out there and represent, you still get shivers down your spine.
It is a childhood dream. It is something that people aspire to.
Every time they walk out in that pitch, they're putting their spot on the line. Training, playing, every single time.
Let's be switched on. Know where your next pass is, okay? Talk, communication, okay? Come on, boys, let's go. Get
It's not just representing the community and all of that. I think that the enjoyment they have playing with each other and playing well with each other, I think, is another significant thing that drives the membership of the crew.
Barry's got that wisdom. He knows to stay calm and cool and call the players to enable us to win games.
The solution is understood by everybody with clear communication, and that's why I see Baz and Batchy how they work. They don't get carried away with this situation. They don't let the things they can't control faze them.
Well, see, they're just falling all the time.
It's a lot more humid and heat here in Darwin, and that's similar conditions to Beijing. Obviously you need to be careful of your fluids and recovery, so it's good preparation in that way.
The heat is a key issue because it basically affects your performance. Once you store heat, certain systems start to be affected.
Today we're using a number of strategies to help our boys in the heat. We'll be tracking our boys temperature-wise with some little telemetry pills. So they're little pills that they swallow in the morning and they throw out a core temperature for us to keep an eye on as they're exercising. So we can see how the things that we're doing behind the scenes affects how they perform out there.
We seek through those cooling strategies to maintain an optimal body temperature.
The guys on the hockey field could lose somewhere between 2 and 3 litres of water. And when you start losing that water, then you start to slow down and your performance, I guess, is really reduced. So before a game, they're using the Powerade Energy Edge. With that, they're getting not only their fluid needs, but they're also getting a caffeine shot. So it's going to help you get to your peak quicker.
Using the bit of caffeine to sharpen that focus before we go into it, and especially on a day like today, keeping the core body temperature down.
During the game, we're drinking the Powerade isotonic solution, which has got our electrolytes in and the fluids that we need during the game.
A lot of our focus on hydration levels is also about ensuring that they are in the right frame to make good decisions.
Fluid is just so important because every biochemical reaction within the body is dependent upon fluid. Fluid is the key to these guys recovering. You know, during the Olympic period, there'll be a game at least every day, every second day, and that type of high-intensity overload is not tolerable unless you can recover very quickly.
It does get fiery and it does get heated, and you find players you play on are similar to you, and you both, you know, go at it hammer and tongs. The fieriness comes from competing, going towards the ball and that sort of thing. And sometimes, you know, the sticks will fly and you might cop one, but you know, overall, no one really wants to hurt anyone.
If we plan something, whether it's a corner or just the general tactics that we're doing and they're working on the ground, and you see the excitement in the players, I think that's very satisfying. With the veterans that have been there before, more than anything, they've had a taste and they want it again. And once you've had it, you know, you want it forever. And, you know, that's that hunger. They've been there. More than anything, it's now let's do it again. With the young ones, they're motivated by having never been there. They're motivated by creating their own history.
Young guys that you want to watch out for, I reckon, Eli Matheson, if he keeps progressing the way he is, and Eddie Oppen. They're two guys that have the potential to win you an Olympic gold medal because you need youth and enthusiasm and unpredictability in a sense. This team, I suppose, epitomises what any good team that's won an AFL premiership or whatever. We've got depth, we've got youth, we've got guys that are more experienced, and I reckon we've just got a great little balance of players there.
Ladies and gents, 1, Eli Matheson, 2, Desmond Abbott, 1.
Happy with your game?
Yeah, good win.
Yeah, I reckon best so far.
Yeah, much better today as a team and strung passes together. It's really good.
Definitely. And the thing is, I think they were playing a lot better as well. They had a real dip at us from the very start, so it was good. It's awesome.
I would expect that a number of the players are conscious about selection issues today, and it'll be interesting to see how under those selection pressures players perform.
Barry will put double ticks on guys today versus yesterday or the day before how they play. I reckon if the guy performs today, he needs to.
Always we pride ourselves in being our best at the end of a tournament, so I think this is another challenge for us to make sure that we can maintain that quality when it counts most.
I want to see people collecting the ball and moving 3 or 4 steps so you change the angle. Otherwise, they're jumping right over our midfield and we're mincemeat in here. We've got to think and be alive. Back 5's got to be moving and mobile to make the tone better. All right, let's go. Come on, boys.
Transfer.
Five stroke takers from each team, similar to soccer. Then it can go into sudden death if the score's still level at the end of those 5 strokes.
Yeah, well, there's always pressure to win. I mean, everyone wants to win, but it's getting more difficult every year because more and more teams are getting better and better.
Nervousness and anxiety in sport is an awful lot about fear of failure. We want to be able to really train these guys to be able to perform in the face of that sort of pressure of outcomes.
It's good to have those old heads around, and like Liver and that still want it. Like, I want it more personally, more now than I ever have, and I definitely see it in those guys too, and it inspires you to train harder and work harder and forget about those niggling injuries or whatever. Just get out there and play like it is the last time you ever get to play, because it might be.
Ideally, where I'd like us to be is feeling that we're the best prepared team going into the Olympics, recognised by the other teams as the favoured team for Beijing.
The dream is to go to an Olympics and win a gold medal. It represents the ultimate, the very peak of what you can achieve in your sport. Like, there isn't anything better than that.
There is a lot of pressure out there, and the team's relying on you to put in a good execution, and thankfully they went in. One was close on the inside of the post, so it took off the paint, I think.
We're coming down the barrel to claim our territory. We'll cackle like we're crazy. We don't walk. Whoa, we don't sit. Whoa, we don't stand. Whoa, we stand.
I would like to see Australia versus Germany in the final of the Olympics in Beijing, and Australia come out on top.
Yeah, bugger, beat the Dutch in the semi and the Germans in the final. That'll be good, eh?
All right, we run out of time.